sir. We live. We back, man. Welcome back. If you don't know me, I'm your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. If this is your first time here, just welcome in general. This is the Golden Goose DFS experience where we specialize in single entry 3 max and 20 max contests. Alright? So if that's your particular style of play, man, you found the perfect home for you. Trust me. Some of the best NBA content on the internet. Alright? Even if it's not your particular style of play, man, still one of the best spots you can be in if you're playing NBA DFS. Alright, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on so you know when the videos and content drop. Also, do me a small favor this morning, man. Hit that like button for your boy, man. It's a small gesture of kindness that I always tell you goes a long way, man. You should want some good karma headed your direction, alright? Let's get to it. Lineup review from last night. Last night was the tale of two cities, man. A rough night on DK. Pretty much lost all my buy-in. Won a little bit back, but doubled my buy-in on FanDuel. It just that's just a tribute to my style. I kind of use the sites against each other. A lot of times my player pool on FanDuel look a little different than it do on DraftKings just because of the pricing and things like that. Like I may have a guy in my player pool on DraftKings and not on FanDuel and vice versa. So I don't use like one general strategy across both sites. I mean I do, but my player pool varies based on price, and so that attributes to that. This is my best lineup on DK right here. 294. This was in the $4.20 max. A lot of Kyle Lowry, 38% on over here. I probably had like double that yesterday. Spencer Dinwiddie came through with a big game for me. 55 fantasy points at 13% on. RJ Barrett got off to a hot start, then fizzled out. But this game did get out of hand, man. Only 25 fantasy points from him. Karl Anthony Towns let me down. That was the story of my night over here on DK. Anthony Edwards was my main guy. I had a lot of Anthony Edwards. That was one of my pay-up guys, and he got hurt in the third. That pretty much, handicapped me for the rest of the night. I had a lot of Tatum. He got in early foul trouble, and then they pulled away by the time he got back out there and got in rhythm. So that ultimately derailed my night. I was on these Minnesota guys. I thought this Thunder game, Minnesota game had potential to be one of the better games of the night. I got to some Minnesota guys. Towns right here did not work out for me at 6% on. Kevin Love had a lot of him as well. 25 fantasy points from him. Jason Richardson, 36 at 31% on. Those Heat guys were just the guys. Once Jimmy Butler got ruled out, man, those Heat guys became solid value. So we've had a lot of those guys. 2 or 3 Heat in every lineup. Jabari Smith, 22%, only 33 fantasy points from him. Needed a much bigger game from him, especially in this matchup against the Mavericks. And then Sengun down here at the bottom, 38% on, man. He gave you 52 fantasy points. Got out to a slow start, but he finished up strong over here. Like I said, it was a rough night on DK, but FanDuel fared a lot better. Let's take a look at my lineup over there. And undoubtedly, I know what it was. The play over here on FanDuel that had me ahead of the game was Andrew Wiggins. At 6% on, 4,900 over here on FanDuel. I probably had too much Wiggins if I look at it from a clear eye view. I had like 40% Wiggins, man. I don't know how y'all got him at 6%. Maybe that's just me, but at 4,900, he was popping a lot for me. So I had a lot of Wiggins. That what made a difference for me over here on FanDuel. Like I said, I had 40, 45, 50% of Wiggins. But my best lineup over here came in 197th place. This is the 222-25 max. Put up 365, man. Kyle Lowry, once again, just had a lot of him. Got to some Steph over here at low ownership. Went Duncan Robinson on the FanDuel side at 12% ownership. Only 22 fantasy points from him. It was a roll of the dice, man. He was coming back, injured thumb on his shooting hand. I rolled the dice with him. Hopefully he could fight through that and have a better game, but didn't quite work out. Only 22 fantasy points. Dylan Brooks here, just another low on value piece I got in this lineup. RJ Barrett at 8%. Only 25 fantasy points from him. Julius Randle at 21%. Big game from him, 58 fantasy points. Evan Mobley with the big game at 18% on, gave me 61. And then wrapping it up with Sengun down here at the bottom, man. Like I said, it's a very good night for me on FanDuel. Doubled the buy-in. DK not so much. But let's get to today's slate, man. We got a 7 game on today's slate. Let's get into this starting 5. At the point guard, at the top, we'll look at Keontae George, 6,100. Now, hold on. Before I get into these plays, man, this is definitely the starting five is definitely gonna change, man. We waiting on so much news on this slate that it could be in complete disarray by lock, man. You got Jokic questionable, Durant questionable. You could get Jamal Murray back, maybe Aaron Gordon, C.J. McCollum may play tonight. Man, Jordan Clarkson could be out again. It's a lot of questionable tags that's gonna change the way this looks. So take this with a grain of salt, man. All right, trust me, it's gonna look a lot different before lock. But I had to put it together the best I could for you right now. Is the way I see a lot of these plays gonna be. Most of these plays are still gonna be good, but it's going to be better plays to open up depending on how this news breaks. So I put it together the best I could for you as I see the news now with my leans. So at the top, point guard, I want to look at Keontae George, 6,100. He's a guy that's in play for me regardless. If Jordan Clarkson is out, it's just a boost for him. Should be more shots and more usage for him at 6,100 price tag. He's been playing very solid. Hasn't erupted for a super big game, but he's been 35 to 40 fantasy points pressing right there. If he just have a good night shooting the ball, I think he can give you a 40-plus performance. And that if Jordan Clarkson is out, that increases opportunity and more shots. So I like getting the Keontae George right here, 6,100. At the shooting guard, don't mind going back to Jaden Ivey. Going against this Lakers team, listen, this Lakers defense can be had, guys. I know they're big favorites in here, but Jaden Ivey getting the start, seeing solid minutes, gave you a nice performance his last time out. I don't mind going right back to him in this matchup against the Lakers at 5,700. Small forward, I want to look at Desmond Bane. Now, I know he's a guy that may be falling off your radar. He hasn't really put up big performances, but when you're looking at guys like this, you got to dive a little deeper, man. He was putting up big performances the beginning of the year. Been struggling over the past few games, but you got to look at those games in totality, right? He played the Timberwolves 34 minutes, turned into a blowout. Minnesota is one of the better defenses in the NBA this year. He struggled there. Phoenix, the game before that, turned into a blowout. Phoenix got him off the court, man. Only 27 fantasy points. Houston, the same thing, man. He got in a little foul trouble. Game kind of got out of hand. Only 26 minutes. But when you look here in competitive games, 37, 34 against 37 against Boston, 34 against the Spurs, 27 against the Lakers. That turned into a blowout. But in close competitive games, he's mainly the reason they're in the game. And he's usually performing well. So you get him in a spot here against the Jazz where they're finally favored. The last few games they've been underdogs playing better teams. You finally get him in a spot against this Jazz team where they're favorites. Only way that happens, the only way they win this game is Bane has a big one, man. I like going to Desmond Bane right here at 8,500. Staying in that same game, I want to look at Santi Aldama, 6,400. He's another guy, just huge minutes, man, due to the fact that they already hurt over there. Then he's playing with Jaren Jackson, another guy, a guy that's can get in foul trouble easily. Santi Aldama in close games, seeing 38, 39 minutes, man, and he has solid performances. I like going to him right here at 6,400, man. Give me some Santi Aldama. And then rounding out, you can see I'm all in this Jazz Grizzlies game, man. I like it. I like the matchup. I like the pricing over here. I'm looking at Walker Kessler, 5,900. Minutes is slowly ticking up. He saw 26 minutes last game out after seeing 21 the game before that. I think he approaches 30 in here, maybe moves back into the starting lineup, man. He should absolutely eat down there against the Grizzlies with them not having a traditional center. You know he has the block upside. At 5,900, I'm going to go right back to this Walker Kessler well. I done played him the last two times on the limited minutes. He still managed to give me 30-plus fantasy points. I'm going to keep going to him, especially until he's back in the starting lineup, especially at this price tag. I like getting a Walker Kessler right here at 5,900. So a lot of this Grizzlies Jazz game for me right now, but that's just because of the injury news we waiting on. But you're starting five for DK, Keontae George, Jaden Ivey, Desmond Bane, Santi Aldama, and Walker Kessler. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine. All right, let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I'm liking over there. Hit that like button if you haven't already, man, and feel free to leave your comments, questions, concerns down in the comment section. Y'all know I reply to them as soon as I see them. All right. Over here on FanDuel at the top, staying with Keontae George. A little cheaper over here, 5,700. I like this price tag. Like I said, if Clarkson is out, it's nothing but an added boost to him, especially with marketing already being out. He should have free will, free reign of this offense to create and get his own shot. I like going to him at 5,700. At the shooting guard spot, I don't mind going back to Cade Cunningham, 8,100. Like I said, this Lakers team can be had on defense, man. They get into games, and the defense is not the purest right now. I like Cade Cunningham. You know he is. This is his team for the Detroit Pistons. Everything runs through him. He gets what he wants when he wants. I like him in this spot against the Lakers. Expect him to continue to have a solid game right here. 8,100. I like the price tag as well, along with the matchup. At the small forward, want to look at Paolo Banchero. Now this is going to be the game. Orlando, Washington. People going to be in this game heavy. Highest total game on the slate. Both defenses suck. It's going to be an up and down affair. Give me Paolo Banchero. He's probably one of the better players on the court. The best two players on the court in this game is probably him and Kuzma. So I'm definitely going to have plenty of those guys. Kuzma on the second night of a back-to-back coming off of, not the second, I didn't play last night, but coming off a big performance where he gave you 61 fantasy points. He's definitely in play. But I like Banchero here at 7,700. His performance is up and down. You know, he's up and down, but I'm okay getting to him right here going against these Wizards. I think he can lead the Magic to a victory here. At the power forward spot, don't mind going back to Pascal Siakam, 7,900. They just will not move his price. He's been solid the past couple of games. Not any performances to write home about, anything to get you to the top of the mountain. But he's a very solid performer in his matchup against the Suns, man. You know what he's capable of. He can fill up the stat sheet for you. The minutes are there, provided the game is close. I like going back to Pascal Siakam at 7,900. And then rounding out at my center spot, man, you could have guessed it. It's Walker Kessler over here as well. You know I'm going to get to him over here on this FanDuel side where blocks are 3 points. That is his upside, man. He's the type of guy that can go out and get you 4 or 5 blocks. And over here on FanDuel, you're talking about 12 to 15 points just on blocks right there alone. So give me some Walker Kessler at 5,900. There you have it, man. You're starting 5 on FanDuel. Walker Kessler, Pascal Siakam, Paolo Banchero, Cade Cunningham, and Keontae George. Get some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. You know they're going to be in mine, all right? That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.